The anime opens with the Japan featherweight title match between Makuno Uchi Ippo and the former champion, Sendo. Everyone cheers and encourages Ippo to keep fighting. With nowhere to retreat, Makuno Uchi starts with the Dempsey roll. As the punch and counter punch continues, Makuno Uchi finally manages to make unavoidable hits, making him the newest champion. Makuno Uchi and his dog Wanpo arrive at the ferry port and requests his peers to treat him like usual. At least as long as he works in the fishing boat. Makuno Uchi starts training, and to warm up, he goes for a run. He remembers the time when his coach said that defending the title is the main battle. During his after-win party, he and Kumi had some sweet talks while Tomiko was hitting the spikes out of everyone for bullying Masaru. Kumi gives him a present as it was his birthday. With great gratitude, Makuno Uchi accepts the present, which turns out to be the tracksuit he is wearing. He reminisces about the past when he was continuously bullied, and Takamura saved him. After meeting Takamura, Makuno Uchi wanted to know what it meant to be strong, and thus he followed and practiced. He practiced the leaf catching technique over and over again, finally showing Takamura that he could do it too. As he thinks about his first match with Miyata, he coincidentally meets him jogging as well. Makuno Uchi is about to hug Miyata, which makes Miyata take a few steps back. Miyata and Makuno Uchi remember their first match very differently, as they both felt the other to be stronger. Miyata reminds Makuno Uchi to not get ousted from the throne in the very first defense match. The match between Makuno Uchi and Miyata is still unfinished, and Makuno Uchi can't afford to lose this one fight no matter what. In the boxing gym, Makuno Uchi is practicing jabs with his coach when the practice is interrupted by a call from Nico. He informs coach that Hama Dankichi, a popular trainer from Mexico, has returned to Japan. Coach fought the last match against Hama and won 2 knockouts. However, he felt that he was lucky, and that Hama was stronger than him. Hama was as swift as a swallow, and his punch could knock out any fighting. However, he had a weak point. His jawline was fragile, and landing one punch there would render him flightless. As coach continues his story, Hama enters the gym saying his jaws still recover pretty quickly. His attendance surprises both coach and Makuno Uchi. Turns out at the champion carnival, Sanada, the former champion, and his student will fight against Makuno Uchi. Hama rejoices at the thought that after all these years, their pupils will exchange blows. This shows that their fight is finally resuming, which was about to fade into history. Hama also notifies that Sanada has already mastered the special punch, the Hien. Before leaving, Hama made a new move that he named Tsubame Geishi. Coach and others give Makuno Uchi a small demonstration of what those moves were that Hama was talking about. Makuno Uchi is obsessing over what punches Sanada might use on him. Coach, understanding his concerns, initiated practice sessions in defeating Sanada. Mr. Fuji is a reporter who interviews Makuno Uchi and feels like he is still his usual self. According to the reporter, Makuno Uchi still hasn't realized the meaning of being the title defender and not the challenger. Sanada is a 5th-year student in the Department of Medicine in Taito University and the only son of the Sanada hospital owner. Amura, another reporter from Boxing Fan, finds Sanada in the university and asks for an interview. Sanada agrees to answer a few of her questions with the condition that no questions would be directed towards his new punches that are being designed against Makuno Uchi. Amura asks about his achievement as a student and his inspirations for boxing. In reply, Sanada says that he always admired his parents and their profession as doctors, but he didn't want to pursue it himself. He coincidentally came across boxing and it gave him great pleasure and sense of purpose. He was always good at physical activities. He took a medical approach towards his fights and studied the best ways to tackle enemies by studying their physics. Soon the wins in the ring gave him satisfaction and a stronger will to improve and accomplish. Back at the gym, Takamura is worried about the specs of Sanada. He is rich, handsome, a doctor and famous for his manners among his peers. According to Takamura, Sanada is a hot date. When the boys talk about Kumi, Makuno Uchi's attention is completely in their conversation. As Kumi is a nurse at Sanada Hospital, she might have seen him from time to time. This coming match has a lot in stake for Makuno Uchi. He has the belt in line, but most importantly, the woman he has a crush on is also at risk. Takamura warns Makuno Uchi to not lose pathetically and if possible, not lose at all. This catches Makuno Uchi off guard and he mumbles that Kumi is not his woman. Takamura is enraged at the cowardness of Makuno Uchi as he knows Makuno Uchi like Kumi. When he asks Makuno Uchi to choose between hating and liking Kumi, Makuno Uchi still can't choose. Kimura intervenes by saying Makuno Uchi is now a champion and one of the strongest men in Japan. This is the right opportunity to make his confession. Makuno Uchi wants to avoid making any such unstable moves before his match. Takamura says that a champion always has matches lined up. To handle the situation, Makuno Uchi and all the rest of the gym have arm wrestling to avoid confessing. Makuno Uchi turns out to be stronger than Aoki and Kimura as he easily wins. Takamura stands in the limelight and Makuno Uchi ends up losing. Makuno Uchi invites Kumi for dinner and ponders how to express his feelings for her. As they exit the restaurant, Wanpo is waiting outside and Kumi is happy to meet Wanpo. As they play in the snow, Makuno Uchi feels like it is the right time to express his feelings. After encouragement from Kumi, he finally tries saying the 3 words but soon diverts in talking about the match. Kumi is frustrated at the situation. She talks about everyone knowing about the match and how the nurses at her hospital are already planning to support Sanada. Makuno Uchi says that it can't be helped as Kumi has no obligation to stay by his side. Frustrated at the cowardness, Kumi leaves the place. The next day, Aoki, Kimura, and Takamura plan to wait until the matter gets settled by itself. Makuno Uchi is regretting not saying what Kumi wanted to hear. He trains harder and longer with the passing days. 3 weeks before the match, Fuji and Amura witness a fight by Sanada. As he uses the hien punches, the infighters find it difficult to close in. Hama steps in and explains Sanada's moves to the reporters. After the match at Sanada's place, the reporters visit Makuno Uchi's preparatory match. During the pre-fight weight check, the reporters ask Makuno Uchi a question by addressing him as champion, but he seems to forget that his title is now a champion. Sanada finds it very unprofessional. Sanada feels like Makuno Uchi is not pressured at all. Hama reminds him that Makuno Uchi might look like his usual self, but in reality, he is surely nervous. Makuno Uchi also finds Sanada to be very relaxed and notices his muscles have gotten bigger compared to the last time. Sanada plays some video with his teacher's kid. This helps him relax for a bit. The next day is the day for the final match. Turns out, Makuno Uchi couldn't sleep the entire night and was thinking about his match. He is very nervous and out of focus. Coach reminds Makuno Uchi to dodge his first punch. The match starts and Makuno Uchi ends up getting hit endlessly. Coach suggests Makuno Uchi to throw punches, but he can't seem to make any hits. Everyone seems to have given up on Makuno Uchi's win. As the match comes to the first break, Makuno Uchi is completely worn out. Turns out the hien punches are just to make Makuno Uchi tense and make a clear opening for the second swallow. For the first time, Makuno Uchi closes in, but Sanada perfectly stops the attack. Makuno Uchi's Dempsey motion is also completely shut down by the hien punch. Makuno Uchi studies the moves by Sanada and is ready to block his punch, but Tsubame Geishi takes him by surprise. Seeing Makuno Uchi still standing on his legs startles Sanada as that Tsubame Geishi was supposed to completely take him down. For the first time, Makuno Uchi lands punches that overpower Sanada. Soon Sanada diverts the punch and along with several punches, manages to land another Tsubame Geishi. Tsubame Geishi falls on his knees and his persistence is what seems dangerous to Sanada. Soon round 3 starts with crumbling Makuno Uchi getting another Tsubame Geishi his way. This time he successfully dodges the move with a cross-arm block. While blocking the punches, Makuno Uchi moves closer and ends up finally doing some damage to Sanada. Sanada falls to his knees and soon stands up and continues the fight. The fight continues and Makuno Uchi has learned to neutralize all of Sanada's moves. Both the fighters have a lot at stake. Still getting deadly blows, Makuno Uchi is barely holding up. As he hangs on the rope, Sanada runs for the final blow. Makuno Uchi remembers his first training and with his remaining powers, makes another punch. The 4th round ends. Hama is happy with the match and is hopeful that after so many years, his revenge will finally be complete. Makuno Uchi is overtaken by pain and there is only one more round to go. Makuno Uchi can't seem to stand up in pain, so coach gives him a hand and slaps his back for his full force. With his last spurt of energy, Makuno Uchi makes endless punches and finally gets a hit across Sanada's face, but Sanada counter punches right at Makuno Uchi's stomach. Makuno Uchi lands clear hits at Sanada's face. Sanada jumps in to stop the punch but gets hit on his left side. Makuno Uchi ends the final attack by hitting Sanada right in his face. Sanada feels like if he just endures past Makuno Uchi's punches, he can win. However, he loses the match as he drops on the canvas. Makuno Uchi is able to defend his title. All his viewers are all worn out by the intense fight. As the cheers flood in, coach walks in and tells Makuno Uchi that he has won. Makuno Uchi can't believe the game is over as he couldn't clearly land any hits. Makuno Uchi finally realized that he was the champion and fought as if he was the challenger. Soon, Makuno Uchi passes out and is carried out by his peers. Backstage, Sanada confesses that he is completely satisfied with his loss. He decides to give up boxing and pursue his career as a doctor as he realizes he can't focus on 2 things at once. Hama wishes Sanada the best of luck for his future endeavors. Amura suddenly interrupts Sanada and informs that Makuno Uchi fell asleep as soon as he laid on his back. Fearing heavy damage to his brain, Sanada rushes to Makuno Uchi's room. He carefully examines Makuno Uchi and is surprised that Makuno Uchi actually fell asleep due to exhaustion and fatigue. Sanada notices Makuno Uchi tightly holding on to his belt. Sanada tells the coach and the rest of the people in the room that he couldn't possibly take the belt that Makuno Uchi held onto so tightly. Hama returns back to Mexico and the coach along with Nekata sees him off at the airport. Makuno Uchi is fishing when Kumi finds him. He had forgotten about the mishap he created. He hesitantly asks if Kumi rooted for Sanada. Kumi replies that she rooted for the person she likes and indicates that it's Makuno Uchi. If you enjoyed this recap, check out the next episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more anime recaps, turn on the bell notification for future uploads and leave a like to help the channel out.